Tell him about DOS
mechanical
keyboard.
keyboard. Yeah. So DOS Keyboard, if you haven't noticed, is one of the sponsors for StarCraft 2 Team League, and they have done an excellent job of being great sponsors. They have donated 5 keyboards to go to the winner of the tournament. That is going to be between the winner of the North American tournament and the European tournament. That will be in a final that we will hopefully be able to cast live. We're still working on the details for that. But whichever team wins will be the recipient of those 5 DOS keyboards. They will go to their players and they will be clacking away to victory in their various endeavors in the future, hopefully in Season 2 of StarCraft 2 Community Team League, as this is Season 1. But we are in the playoff stages. This is the round of 8. This is StarCraft Ascension versus Eternal Dreamers in a best of 9. And we are going to get it going.
You're a master of words, and so far all of my diagnostics show green lights and everything is looking great, so I think we're good to go.
Green lights. All right.
Green lights are better than red lights. As my son says, go away red light, we want green light. All right, so do you, now that we've got this going again, do you want to tell us the bios of our players?
I think we've already gone through that. Let's just jump into these games.
Okay, I think...
No more ado. Let's just get in there.
All right, are we ready? On the count of 3, 2, 1. Boom. Oh, yeah. In our left side, the correct left side of this map is going to be our yellow Protoss player. His name is Ire. Can't do my spinnies on this side of the map.
And in the top right-hand corner, representing Team Eternal Dreamers, playing the Terran race, it is Stranded.
Alright, so we fought through some technical difficulties, but technical difficulties will not hold us down. We will be casting some games tonight, and they're going to be great. It's between StarCraft Ascension and Eternal Dreamers, Terran versus Protoss. A good matchup, and all kinds of cool things should happen.
That is right. I do like to see some Terran versus Protoss these days. It feels like... I'm not seeing a lot of Terrans make it into the playoff stages. It seems like we were casting a lot of Terrans at the early group stages, and now that we're getting into playoffs, we've been seeing less of them. So it's always a treat. And it seems like the ones that we do see are actually really good Terrans too. So it's fun to see what they get, what little tricks they pull out of their hats. It's always, I like that stuff.
As we've seen, there's just a lot of players on these teams that are just on the cusp of going pro, going big. A lot of that have played in big tournaments like MLGs, have been knocked out by A-list players like Grubby, some Root. Can't remember his name right now, but I remember one of the players said he was knocked out of one of the tournaments by Root players. So pretty awesome players we've got here. Ire is a Grandmaster, Stranded is a Master. He's going for a really early command center here, so he's going for a macro style. As I believe, is that his bio that said he liked macro games?
That is correct.
Aha,
yep,
I remember
he likes to play the heavy macro.
Can we just get a confirmation in chat for any of those of you watching it? The stream looks great and fantastic. We had some technical difficulties, but everything's looking good now. We just want to make sure everything's looking good for everybody as we are watching these games. Looks like it'll be a Gateway Cybercore first for Ire, which is pretty standard against Terran, but with 2 barracks going down now after his early command center, Stranded's going to start ramping up into some army here.
That's right. There is a Zealot coming out from Ire, and he's probably going to be doing some scouting out with that guy. He does have a probe going down now to check out his natural, make sure there's no shenanigans going down there. And Stranded is going up the ramp.
Is that a lion head on the icon there on the natural there?
On the natural? It does look that way, doesn't it?
Looks like one of the observers in this game is actually Root Destiny.
Huh.
So that's a thing. But one barrack's going to finish up, a Marine coming out of that, so he's opting against the Reaper opening as he has no gas. But the Reaper opening, honestly, is one of the things that throws me for the biggest loop, and that I think probably play a little bit too safe sometimes against, because when that Reaper comes in, they can see everything unless you get a Mothership Core and a Stalker up right away. And those things, as you know, take gas.
They do indeed. Hard to macro hard when you need all of that gas.
Great, thanks for the heads up. Nuts Zimi, he says the stream looks good, and that's fantastic. As looks like Stranded's going to begin mining from his expansion here. He's got a mule going there, and those mules, they do some good work. 3 Marines out front, both barracks rallied as a 3rd barracks coming down, and a refiner. Both refineries going down fairly late for the Terran Stranded at just after 5 minutes. That's pretty late, but he did get that early command center.
Yeah, he did say that he likes to go heavy macro. He is getting that base up. He's got SCVs coming out of there, and he does have the 3 barracks, so he is producing Marines. He's got a decent number out there now. It looks like 6 or 7. 6 at the moment. And so he can put on a little bit of aggression if he'd like to. I think he's going to opt for playing defensively and getting the scout off. But Iyer is also, just playing safe, getting his gateways up now, and a robotics facility is about to finish here.
Yep, looks like he's going to be going into some Colossus. I mean, sometimes the Protoss will go for the quick Immortals, which it looks like he's doing, which is great if the Terran's going for the Marauders, but it doesn't look like he's doing that, but it's a potential that he's just going to get an Immortal while he gets up his robotics bay. But, something I remember in Wings of Liberty used to love to do is to show a Colossus, make him make a bunch of Vikings, and then just go double Robo Immortal. And all the Vikings be like, hey, what do I do? It's like,
well, just a moment ago, there was a SCV that did try and come up the ramp of Iyer, and the Stalker and the Mothership Corps were able to take it out before it got too far, but it did manage to see that there is a robotics facility, so Stranded is going to know about that. And at the moment, he's not really, it doesn't look like he's making too much of a response. He's really just only making Marines at the moment, getting factory now.
Looks like Iyer's going to be putting a pylon down here by the 3rd base of Stranded. He's going to be getting some warp gate action going as he is getting a 2nd Immortal out, so he's going really heavy into this, but we haven't seen any Marauders come out for Stranded yet. Yeah,
those Immortals aren't going to really be all that useful without the Marauders being out there. The Marines are going to be able to do a lot of damage to those.
And Stranded did scan, but I think that scan ended right before the Immortal popped out, so the fact that he may think that Colossus could be on the way could be a factor in his mind, but it's going to be a 2 Immortal push with several Sentries and Zelds, which can be really scary, especially with those force fields against only Marines. The Immortals do the one thing the Immortals are really useful for in this situation is taking down that bunker very fast. They do take down the bunkers extremely fast, especially if you can zone those Marines out with the force fields.
He's going to want to get those Marines into those bunkers because this Stalker, or this Protoss force is about to bust down his front gate. Just getting a few more warpins, and here they go.
Oh, that 2nd bunker is not going to finish before he moves in here. He's going to force field around the bunker to keep everything back. Oh, that bunker is going to go down very quickly as he targets it with the Immortals.
And he pulls the SCVs trying to get the repair off, but they just cannot get there because of the force fields. And everything is getting chewed apart at the front, making sure the SCVs are at the front so his attacking army is able to survive long enough to do any damage. And this ground force is just doing huge damage at the moment. Stranded forced to lift up his expand, forced to go up to the top of the ramp, and Iyer is really just playing very commandingly at the moment.
Yeah, Stranded, as we said, went, likes the economic play, went for that. So all he had was Marines, and Iyer went for some high-tech units, lots of Sentries, lots of Immortals, and was making a very strong push here as Stranded just does not have many units left. He's got a few Marines and a few SCVs, but he's already lost so many.
And Iyer not really doing much of anything behind this. Just continuing to warp in units when he can, when he wants to, but he feels really strongly about this push. Obviously, all the SCVs have been pulled, another group, and now they've all been killed, so now there's just this Marine Marauder force, and it's on the run. More SCVs are being pulled.
Excellent time warp there to slow down the SCVs approaching, able to separate them off with that nice force field. Amazing play by Iyer.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is definitely going to
really
be GG
zoning this army. Yeah, there's not really he can do, and there it is. There's GG.
Oh, that was such a great play. Iyer just went from, showing that he was going to do a fairly decent economic build along with Stranded, but he just stopped in his tracks and went for those big units as he went for the Robo, chrono boosted out those Immortals, only Zealots, only Sentries, no Stalkers until after the push started. So very calculated, very strong play by Iyer.
Yeah, and a big ball of Marines is a lot of fun to play with and can be good, but he didn't have the upgrades that he needed. He just had finished Combat Shield and Stim right before that army moved in, so he did have those available to him, but there were no medevacs to support. He didn't have the bunkers up that he needed, And you know, 0-0 Marines do some damage, but against a strong, big, diverse army like that, kind of got chewed up.
Yeah, especially with those force fields. The force fields are just, I mean, he was impeccable with his force fields putting it on. I don't think they overlapped at all on that first batch of force fields he put down.
Yeah, not at all.